in the vast, icy lands north of the Wall. Whispered tales speak of a mysterious figure, a being of immense power and knowledge known as the Three-Eyed Raven. This isn't just a bird with an extra eye. It's a title, a legacy passed down through generations of Greenseers, the most powerful magic users in the world of men. The current Three-Eyed Raven is an ancient man, his body fused with the roots of a giant weirwood tree, his life sustained by the magic flowing through the earth. He is said to have 1,000 eyes, and one of the 1,000 eyes being the weirwood trees scattered across the continent, and the one being his own. Through this network, he can witness any event, past, present, or future. He sees the rustle of leaves in the high garden and the crash of waves on the Iron Islands. He remembers the age of the first men and the pact they made with the children of the forest. He has seen kings rise and fall, empires built and turned to dust. His existence is a living library of all history. Our story, however, truly begins with a young boy, Brandon Stark of Winterfell. A curious and adventurous child, Bran loved nothing more than climbing the ancient towers of his home. But one fateful day, his climb led him to a dark secret. He witnessed something he wasn't meant to see, and a desperate act to silence him sent him plummeting from the tower. The fall didn't kill him, but it broke his body, taking his legs and trapping him within his own mind. It was in this darkness, this strange dreamscape, that he first encountered the Three-Eyed Raven. The raven appeared in his visions, a cryptic guide beckoning him northward, promising him that although he would never walk again, he would fly. This promise ignited a spark of hope in the young, broken boy. He didn't understand what it meant, but he knew he had to find the source of these visions. He had to find the Three-Eyed Raven. So began one of the most perilous journeys in the entire saga. Accompanied by his loyal friend Hodor, the wildling woman Osha, and the mysterious Reed siblings, Jojen and Mira Bran set out beyond the Wall. The lands of the far north are not kind. They are a frozen, desolate wasteland, home to wildlings, treacherous ice, and something far more terrifying, the White Walkers and their army of the dead. Every step was a struggle against the biting cold and the constant threat of death. Jojen Reed, a Greenseer himself, though not as powerful, helped Bran understand his budding abilities. He taught Bran about watching the power to enter the minds of animals and control them. Bran first slipped into the mind of his direwolf Summer, feeling the thrill of the hunt, the freedom of 4 strong legs. This power was his first taste of what it meant to fly. The journey took a heavy toll. They faced starvation, exhaustion, and terrifying encounters with whites, the reanimated corpses controlled by the White Walkers. They were pursued relentlessly. Yet Bran's determination never wavered. The call of the Three-Eyed Raven was too strong, a pull on his very soul. He knew that his destiny lay at the end of this path, no matter the cost. Jojen's visions guided them, cryptic and often grim, but they always pointed north. He knew that Bran's purpose was far greater than his own, and he was willing to sacrifice everything to ensure Bran reached his destination. It was a pilgrimage of faith, a desperate quest for answers in a world descending into chaos. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of struggle, they arrived at a hidden cave beneath a giant weirwood tree. Its white bark and crimson leaves a stark contrast to the endless snow. The entrance was guarded by the children of the forest, the ancient, non-human inhabitants of Westeros, who were thought to be long extinct. They led the weary travelers into the warmth of the earth, through a network of tunnels pulsating with ancient magic. And there, enthroned within a tangle of weirwood roots, was the man from Bran's dreams. He was impossibly old, his skin as pale as the tree's bark, with roots growing through his frail body, merging him with the cave itself. This was the three-eyed raven. His physical eyes were clouded, but his third eye, the eye of the mind, saw everything. The ancient Greenseer, whose real name was later revealed to be Brynden Rivers, a Targaryen bastard from a century past, welcomed Bran. He had been waiting for him. He told Bran that he had been watching him his entire life, guiding him, preparing him. The training began immediately. The three-eyed raven taught Bran not just to see through the eyes of animals, but to see through time itself. He plunged Bran into visions of the past, showing him pivotal moments in the history of Westeros. Bran witnessed his own father, Ned Stark, as a young man. He saw the creation of the first White Walker by the Children of the Forest. A desperate act of war that had spiraled out of control. He was learning to access the world's memory, to understand the long, tangled chain of events that had led to the present crisis. These lessons were not just historical tours. They were a crucial part of Bran's education. He had to learn the truth, the whole truth, stripped of the lies and legends written by the victors. The three-eyed raven warned him of the dangers of these visions. "It is beautiful beneath the sea," he said, "but if you stay too long, you'll drown." He cautioned Bran against interfering with the past, for the ink is dry, and trying to change what has been written can have unforeseen and tragic consequences. Bran learned this the hard way through the heartbreaking story of Hodor, discovering that his own actions in the present had echoed back through time to shape his friend's entire life and tragic end. This lesson taught him the immense responsibility that came with his power. As Bran's power grew, the old raven's strength faded. He was preparing Bran to take his place. The Night King, the leader of the White Walkers, was not just a mindless force of destruction. He had a target, the three-eyed raven. The raven is the world's memory, and the Night King sought to erase that memory, to plunge the world into an endless night, a world without a past. When the Night King finally found the cave, a terrifying battle ensued. The Children of the Forest, Bran's direwolf Summer, and the old three-eyed raven himself were all lost in the fight. In his final moments, the raven downloaded his vast consciousness, his lifetimes of knowledge, into Bran. "The time has come," he said. "Fly." Bran escaped, now carrying the mantle of the three-eyed raven. He was no longer just Bran Stark. He was something more, something else. The joyful, adventurous boy who loved to climb was gone, replaced by a calm, detached observer who held the history of the world within him. His journey had stripped him of his personal desires, his fears, and his identity, forging him into a living repository of truth. His role in the great war to come was now clear. He was not a warrior who would fight with a sword, but a seer whose knowledge would be the key to survival. He held the secrets to the Night King's origin, his weaknesses, and ultimately, the path to his defeat. The journey to find the three-eyed raven was over, but the journey of the three-eyed raven had just begun. He was the world's memory, its last hope against the long night. Thank you so much for watching. The world of Westeros is filled with incredible lore and characters. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next exploration into this amazing universe. See you in the next video.